right? How do you go about getting the right team? How do you go about casting? How do you what are you using networks of people Are you spending money to actually get someone to do the casting as a real job? How are you doing that?
So there's ways these things are done in Hollywood. I'm guessing that's probably how it's done. But for us here, especially when you're poor, there's a way you have to think about things.
Yeah.
So most of these short films, I've invested my own money. And now when you've invested money in something, it has to work. It has to work. I've taken chances on things I'm not aware of until someone explained to me. You have to look at these things the same way like any other business. If you have a company and let's say it's a hospital and you're hiring people to work in this hospital, you'll ask for experience. Every single place will ask for experience.
Yeah.
Most times 10 years. Even if you're coming straight from school and you have all the documentation to show, they still want experience. And it's like it's a paradox. Like, how do you get that experience without being given a chance? That's kind of how it is everywhere. So even with movies and acting, someone has put up their money. They're going to make this film. An actor is so instrumental. Like they're almost like they push the whole thing.
I agree totally.
So they're key. Now you're getting someone who's going to be this key piece of your puzzle.
Probably the face of the project.
The face, definitely the face, and they've not done anything like that, or maybe they are really, really talented, but they've not really taken the time or even cared to invest in themselves, to push themselves out there, to prove to anyone that wants to work with them that they're actually worth taking a chance on. So most actors, for them, they don't really look at it as an investment. They don't see all this money and all this time. They don't understand that each day probably costs you so much money to sit there. So for them, they're thinking, why don't you give me a chance? I come there, try out. If I fail, I go home. Now for them, failure is as easy as just picking up their bags and going home.
Yeah.
But to you, failure is too expensive. It's too expensive.
Yeah.
So most times you try, put out all these audition calls, you see people you watch, and you realize how unserious most of these people are. They don't take it serious. They think, I'll come act after doing my job. I'll let me first go out to work, do this, then I'll come back and act. So you start thinking about all these things and you end up going to the safe people, the safe bet. Now that safe person might not necessarily be your first choice, but they get the job done. So I think people need to understand that. I don't think they will, but that's how it is.